Good afternoon. Welcome once again to the weekly press conference with the mayor. I had lunch for the first time in quite some time outdoors and had it down at Brennan's on their really cool little parklet. And it's really nice outside, Kyle. So, Kyle, is this what we're going to be looking forward to for the next 7 days, or are you do you have a spoiler alert for us?
So today we look for sunny clouds mixed. A stray shower or storm is possible. High of 82. Tonight partly cloudy, low of 59. Tomorrow partly cloudy, high of 85 and a low of 61. Friday high of 88, low of 66, mostly cloudy skies. Saturday partly cloudy, high of 85, low of 64. Sunday partly cloudy, high of 90, low of 68. Monday partly cloudy, high of 92, low of 69. Tuesday morning storms, high of 90, low of 69. And next Wednesday before scattered storms, a high of 90 and a low of 67. So today in Ohio in the last 24 hours, there have been now 2,167 new positive coronavirus cases in the last 24 hours. That is due to the Delta variant that is now the dominant strain in the state of Ohio, and it's the dominant strain in all 50 states. And the good news is that vaccinating people are increasing. Now we're up to 6,800 new vaccinations a day in Ohio. A day ago compared to last week, only 3,500. And that's going to be good news as we start to head to more of a normal fall and more traditional normal winter. In the state that Ohio has seen now over 1.2 million cases since the pandemic began. National, there's been now 34.7 million cases. And globally, there's now 200.1 million cases and milestone of 4.3 million cases.
Wow.
And sports, OU soccer begins a week from tomorrow. And football against Syracuse at 10 p.m. Expected to be a sold-out game. It's going to be a packed weekend with graduation the following day.
Sports are coming on, folks. And that was great news about the vaccinations. I was not tracking that, so that's good to know, Kyle, because as usual, if you haven't gotten your vaccine, go out and get your vaccine. It's free. You can go to the public health department, the Athens City County Health Department. You can make an appointment. It's fast, it's easy, it's safe, and it'll certainly keep others safe. We also have transit that will get you there free. If you are going to get your vaccination, the Athens Public Transit is offering free rides to anyone who has an appointment to become vaccinated. As I mentioned, the Athens City County Health Department is vaccinating individuals. Currently, they have Pfizer for ages 12 on up, as well as J&J for 18 on up. You can call and make an appointment at 592-4431. Again, 592-4431, and set up your appointment. It's tree trimming time again in the city of Athens. The AEP will be going around and trimming using, I'm sure, Asplund, who they typically work with. So there's going to be a major effort going through. This is largely on the south side of the city. This is going to take place. These are trees that have been identified by AEP Forestry Department. I didn't know AEP had a forestry department. I always wondered where those telephone poles came from. I really don't think it came from the forestry department, but regardless, they're going to be doing work on Dairy Lane down near the Elliotsville substation, where we have two circuits that feed a large swath of the south side of the city. So keep that in mind. There will be tree trimming along Dairy Lane, near the Ridges, Richland Avenue, Mulligan Road, Hickory Street, Moeller Lane, Lamar, Canterbury, Coventry, Sussex, Longview Heights, Old Coach, Curtis, Monticello, Nottingham, Pomeroy, Far Hills, Warren Road, South and North Blackburn Road, as well as Andover Ridgeview and From Road. So I was just driving down Pomeroy Road yesterday and saw an individual walking along this remote tree trimmer. Pretty impressive to see. But I also know that we're going to see a lot of topped trees on the south side of the city. Arts, Parks, and Recreation, it's open registration for the preschool program that goes on at the community center. This is for ages 3 to 5, Mondays through Thursdays from 9 a.m. to noon. To register, just stop by the front desk and ask to have your child registered. You can also call down there if you choose to, 592-3325. And I'm sure they will answer any questions that you might have. The Director for Arts, Parks, and Recreation, we've put out an ad that we are looking for a Director for Arts, Parks, and Recreation. This is an individual who will be under direct supervision from the Surface Safety Director for the City of Athens, and they'll manage all the Arts, Parks, and Recreation departments. The individual will have complete responsibility over the planning, organizing, and directing of the comprehensive municipal department. So this is a professional position. So again, we're looking for qualified candidates who are interested in a full-time job with the city as the Director for Arts, Parks, and Rec, which, by the way, just to throw this out there, includes 750 acres of parklands throughout the city of Athens. So it also includes Arts West, the community center, the pool, and all of the city parks. So if you're qualified, please apply. Athens Public Transit updates. On August 2nd, Bus Line 5 was suspended for both AM and PM service, so just make note of that. Line 6 is still running and stops at a lot of the locations that Line 5 does. So just make note of that has been suspended for the time being. The other thing, just to share, and I shared this at the last press conference, is, if you are interested in riding on Athens Public Transit, or maybe you're a current rider, Kyle, I know that you took Athens Public Transit to get here today. Download the Double Map app. That's a mouthful. The Double Map app is a really cool app. It'll tell you in real time where the buses are for all the lines that are running. It certainly makes your wait time more efficient, if you will, or makes you more efficient to where you're not going to a bus stop and kind of standing around not knowing when the bus is going to come and waiting. So check it out. It's a great app. Another great app is the Athens, Ohio City Source. This app is amazing in that you can pretty much report anything that you see that isn't right. It can be anything from litter on streets or roadways to potholes to a traffic light or a street light that's out. If like myself, if you're not a big fan of seeing graffiti all over the place, you can call that into to where we'll track it. If you see water seeping up out of a street that shouldn't be there because it hasn't rained lately, the potential water line break, you can report those as well. And they go to the appropriate department. You will get notification that it was received. You'll also get information on the follow-up to whatever the issue is and corrective actions taken. This is easy to download. You can find it at the Apple App Store, or you can find it at Google Play. And again, it is the Athens, Ohio City Source app. Great app. We want to make sure I'm not skipping anything here, but we've got a number of upcoming meetings here in the city of Athens. We have the Athens City Sustainability Commission. This will be today at 6 p.m. in the front conference room of the city building. We also have Planning Commission tomorrow, and that'll be at noon. And I know we have a case that'll be moving forward. The and that'll be here in council chambers. The Joint Police Advisory Council will be meeting tomorrow evening at 5 p.m. That will, I'm not 100% sure as to where that's going to be, but I'm sure if you went to the city's website, it would list where it's at. Preservation Board is having their regular meeting August 9th, and that is at 5:30 p.m. in the front conference room. And of course, we have Athens City Council that will be Monday night as well. That one will be committee, but it'll be immediately followed by a special session with council, in that we are taking up a couple pieces of legislation that need to be expedited through. Most notably is the CDC's guidance on face coverings, that even people that are vaccinated, it is required or recommended that they wear a face covering when in businesses or facilities open to the public. Because as a vaccinated person, you can still be carrying the COVID-19 Delta variant, which is, as Kyle mentioned on the front end of the show, it's extremely contagious. Many times stronger in terms of the contagion that is the Delta variant in infecting others. So even if you are vaxxed, you can still be carrying the COVID-19 Delta variant and spreading it around. So it's smart, it's wise, it's the right thing to do to mask up, because we still have a large population that are not eligible yet to be vaccinated, and that would be everyone who is 11 and younger. Until the CDC and the FDA have approved the use of the vaccines for our younger populations, they're still vulnerable. And what I'm hearing about the Delta variant is we have a lot of younger people who haven't been eligible to be vaccinated yet, who are not only getting sick, but getting very sick. So I want to make sure that was mentioned. I've got some guests in the audience today. We have two reporters from WOUB here in Athens at Ohio University. So I am going to turn it over to the two of you. Questions, I'm sure.
Yeah, so Nick Veland from WOUB, just kind of what you just mentioned there with the face coverings. You mentioned on City Council on Monday that it's like a kind of like a preamble to a possible mask mandate. Any new updates on if you're going to be mandating any masks in the city or government buildings?
We, again, are hoping to amend the ordinance that currently exists. Let me give you kind of a little brief history on the face covering ordinance. Back in July of 2020. We were able to quickly get that through council. It came through in one reading, and we suspended the rules. Council suspended the rules and voted on it to where it was required to be wearing a face mask or covering when entering into any business or facility that was open to the public. Earlier in 2020, we amended it based on the CDC's guidelines at that time, and that was for people who are vaccinated, were not required to wear a mask when outdoors or in places open to the public. Now the CDC has come out with revised guidelines, and that is that people who are vaccinated, as I had indicated earlier in my press conference, that they are susceptible with exposure to COVID-19, largely via the Delta variant, and now you are a carrier of that. You may not get sick or as sick. The vaccine will save your life likely. Much fewer hospitalizations with the vaccination, and no known deaths for vaccinated individuals. Yet you could still carry it and expose people who have not been vaccinated yet. I have two 9-year-old daughters, twins, who are not eligible for vaccine, and it puts anyone who's not vaccinated at risk. But certainly I think about those who are not able to get the vaccine at this point in time because it hasn't been cleared by the government agencies that hopefully will clear that by September and open up that avenue for more people being vaccinated.
And then on Monday as well, the real training got passed for that mandatory training for city employees. Now, you had a lot of time with that. How do you feel with that? And just can you give us just a general overview of what it is?
have been a strong supporter of any training that we can, have access to for the city employees. We have gone through training a couple years ago through the Racial Equity Institute out of North Carolina, through what was called groundwater training. There were a number of us here in the city that went through that training, an 8-hour training session. The National League of Cities has a great product with the Race Equity and Leadership Council. And we now are able to enter into contract with them to provide 4 different training modules, if you will. What's called the Real 100 is kind of the foundation for understanding systemic racism, as well as understanding allyship and being supportive of all ethnicities. The Real 200 is a deeper dive into 450 years of systemic racism. Then the Real 300, all of my direct staff will be going through that. Department heads will be going through that training. And then there's the Real 400, which is a train the trainer product that we will also be putting individuals through that. It'll take us quite some time to go through all that training. When I say a long time, it could take, several months to possibly a year to get all the way through the training for all the Real 100 through 300. There will also be a survey that, before we get into the real training, there was a survey that'll go out to all city staff, city employees, which will really help the National League of Cities Race Equity and Leadership Council kind of modify and customize the training to fit a lot of the responses that they see coming from the city of Athens. So we're really excited about I'm excited about getting to this point where council did pass it in one reading, and I believe it was the right thing based upon Councilmember Sarah Grace's resolution that came forward last June of 2020, which was declaring systemic racism as a public health emergency. And so it'll be an interesting journey. I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah, and then kind of a development since Monday's city council, there's been a little skepticism about this training, about the $90,000 going into it. How basically do you know that the city is going to be getting the best bang for their buck with this training?
I've gone through the Real 100 3 times now, which is a great training module. It's very interactive. I've taken it in person, but I've also taken it online, or taken it virtually on a virtual format. And the interactive activities that they have during this training are outstanding, and really informative as well, to go through the interactive portions of the training, but the training is wonderful. I have intimately been involved with the Race Equity and Leadership Council. I was appointed to that council earlier in 2020, so I've seen the training in person. I think when you're talking about the cost unto itself, how do you put a price tag on any training that has to do with understanding systemic racism and the discrimination that has occurred for centuries upon our BIPOC populations? And so it's it's going to be very beneficial, I think, for all of my staff to understand and recognize systemic racism, and it comes in a lot of very subtle ways. And then the other thing that we've asked of the Racial Equity and Leadership team is that we would also like to have any products that they have that could help us with onboarding new employees. And again, that's the beauty of the train the trainer as well, is that we will have that perpetually moving forward, to where as we hire new people, we will require that they go through basically the real 100, where they understand, systemic racism and how that's not tolerated. I don't tolerate it among any of my staff. I don't think that in any department, So this is, regardless of that price tag, someone please show me an appropriate price tag for educating people on systemic racism. I'd like to see what that appropriate price tag would be.
Awesome. Will Price, also WUB. I know yesterday you met, along with other regional campus mayors for Ohio University, you met with President Hugh Sherman of Ohio University. First of all, I wanted to know if you could talk a little bit about what exactly was discussed, and also I know these meetings were your idea, so how did you feel the meeting went?
Well, it was a secret meeting, so I can't tell you. No, it was a wonderful meeting, and thank you for asking. I don't know if anything like this has been done in the past. At least I'm not aware of it, to where the 5 mayors of the regional campuses and myself were brought together to meet with any Ohio University president. But we did meet yesterday with President Sherman. We were missing one of the mayors. The one mayor that couldn't make it was the mayor of St. Clairsville. But it was, I think, vitally important to those mayors because they, one, wanted to express some concerns or challenges that they had experienced within their regional campus cities, but 2, also wanted to kind of reach out and say, how can we help you with, say, identifying programs that might be specific to needs in that city, and how can we help to where we can possibly get a program or a certificate or courses on those regional campuses that would assist, and be mutually beneficial to both. So it was a great meeting. A lot of really rich conversations going on among the mayors and President Sherman. And we haven't set a firm date, but in November we're going to have the next meeting in quarterly meetings that we're going to have moving forward. So it was really cool. And yeah, it was, to me, I'm kind of a connector by nature, and it was really fun reaching out to the mayors and to President Sherman to say, hey, hopefully everyone's open to doing this, and it was unanimous that they wanted this to happen. So it was good. I think it's a good first step to continue to build relationships, to continue to explore mutually beneficial programming and maybe activities. Because one of the things that kind of came up is, with the regional campuses, is there opportunities for some collaborations with, say, job fairs or things like that on the campus or campuses or other uses of campus facilities for things going on in the communities, which should be really, I think, a good use of space. And so President Sherman was open to a lot of the ideas and certainly open just to the dialogue.
Awesome. That's good with me.
You guys good?
Yep.
All right. So thank you, both of you, for being here at my press conference. It's been a long, long time since I've had reporters in person here at the Mayor's Weekly Press Conference. And thanks to anyone who is watching today. Please tune in again next week for the next weekly updates or press conference with the mayor. Take care.